Welcome to the Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast, where each week we're joined by leaders of Guaranteed Irish member businesses to chat about how they sustain jobs, communities and provenance. Supported by FBD Insurance, Ireland's largest homegrown insurer. Support, it's what we do.
Hello and welcome to the Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast. Hi there, my name is Bríd O'Connell and joining me today is Eimear Sinnott, Design and Brand Manager at Emerald Park, to discuss their rebranding, being the only theme park in Ireland, and even answering some of the questions asked through Instagram. So we've taken a little poll beforehand, Eimear. Delighted to have you on the podcast and you're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. What a great introduction.
Well, the park itself is open since 2010. We do have to talk about the rebrand because I think that's something that everybody will want to learn about. And formerly known as Tayto Park, now Emerald Park, and all details can be found on emeraldpark.ie, and based in Ashbourne, County Meath, and quite a large number of staff, between 250 and 500 at the peak times during the year. A big operation.
Yes, it certainly is.
So tell us all about the rebrand and the change of name.
Yeah, so I suppose rewind to early 2022, we officially announced that we were parting ways from Tayto. They were our sole exclusive naming rights sponsor. And I suppose after 12 great years, we came to the discovery, like, would we stick or twist? Would we renew our contract? Or the idea came about that we might potentially go out in our own way and create our own new brand. So I suppose the idea kind of took off and here we are. Fast forward to September 2022, we announced that we would be renamed as Emerald Park. And yeah, it's just taken off ever since. And I suppose the main reason we decided to rebrand is because there's a Tayto up in Northern Ireland, and that means that we couldn't advertise in the UK or the North. So I suppose we were very excited by that idea and we wanted to tap into that market, and this was kind of the way for us to do that. So listen, it's a really positive change for the park. It's a bold move.
Absolutely.
But very welcomed, and we're looking forward to launching it at the end of the
So are we going to be getting Emerald Sweets now as opposed to bags of Taytos? Or are the
Unfortunately
Taytos
not.
gone?
Yeah, so I suppose that's one of the questions that was thrown up when we announced is, A, would we get Tayto crisps at the end? But unfortunately no, because the sponsorship is finished now. And would Twisted Chip, the famous crisp on a stick, still be in the park? And yes, that is in the park. So I think people will be delighted to hear that.
Well, I don't think people were going for the bag of crisps. I think they were really going for the theme park in itself. It's such a novelty, Eimear, at the time. And I remember so well by the late and great Ray Coyle, who was a brilliant mentor to me as a young working woman. And it would be remiss of me not to miss him. And I know the park is taken over from Ray by his son, Charles. And Charles is now the managing director of Emerald Park. Tell us a little bit about the history of the park itself.
Yeah, so I suppose the park has quite a unique history. I'm not sure how many people know this, but before we opened, Ray Coyle, who sadly passed away, he's our founder last year, it was his vision, and I suppose he had a field full of American bison, which at the time was quite an exotic animal to have in the middle of Meath.
I remember it well, in County Meath, he was a talking point.
And I suppose a lot of people around Meath were travelling roadside to come and see it, and Ray, being the charismatic entrepreneur that he was like, you know what, there's a really great idea in this, why don't we open a park? And lo and behold, Tayto Park opened in 2010. It was quite a small operation. There was a petting farm, a couple of animals, a playground, a couple of attractions as well, and then fast forward to now, 13 years in business, and we're a fully fledged theme park. We have over 250 different animals in our zoo and everything in between. So like there's thrill rides, roller coasters, junior rides, playgrounds. It's just really taken off, and the amount we've achieved in such a small space of time is something we're really proud of.
Well, and rightly so. And I remember Ray at the time talking to me saying, Bríd, I want to talk to you about setting up a zoo in Meath. What do you think? I remember thinking he was completely and utterly bonkers.
And that's what everyone says.
But he was the only guy that could have got away with it. He did it. He was successful. And as you rightly said, his charisma drove the whole thing, but also hard work. He was a great worker. He saw the potential in people and he brought them through. He was a good giver back to people, and particularly women in business. He was very, very generous, and I remember him very fondly. And I've no doubt Charles is a chip off the same old block.
He used to say, like, if we build it, they would come.
Absolutely.
And like you just said, everyone thought he was absolutely mad. A theme park in the middle of Meath, sure, that would never work. And here we are, like, it's a testament to his vision. And delighted to be continuing that now under the new name. And he was actually aware of the changes before he passed too. So hopefully his vision lives on now going into this year.
What a nice thing to say. And of course, County Meath, the heart of everything really, the Boyne Valley, the Royal County, is the N1, 2, 3 and 4 going through it. So it's access all areas really for the Midlands, North and South. So a real opportunity for both homegrown visitors but also international visitors, 100%. Which I think is really smart in terms of your opportunity to rebrand and try and attract them. So tell us a little bit about the rides, because I've read about the Cuchulainn ride and a couple of other big hurdy-gurdies out there. So tell us a little bit about that, what somebody can experience when they go to Emerald Park this summer. Yeah,
so I suppose the bread and butter is our Cuchulainn, which is the longest wooden roller coaster in Europe, and that really has that massive impact as you approach the gates. But then on top of that, then we have different sections. So there's like a thrill rides, all your spinny kind of, not for the faint-hearted, would they say. And then we have a junior zone, which is fully fledged for typically ages 3 up till 12. And that does quite well as well. But for this year, actually, we're launching 2 new rides in the junior area.
Brilliant.
So one of them being Balloon Chase, which is kind of a hot air balloon inspired ride. Really colourful and spinning, which I think will go down really well. And then we have Crazy Bus, which, proof in the name, it's a crazy bus.
Okay, so
a lot of exciting things happening.
So you can make a full day out of going to Emerald Park this summer. So parking is provided, it's easily accessible. People can get public transport if they want to go to Dublin and get out that way on the public transport system. Talk to us about the actual rebrand itself, because you're heavily involved in that, Eimear, in relation to the rebranding campaign. What were your biggest challenges there?
Yeah, so I suppose just to start off, like, it takes an army, and in Emerald Park, it takes a very small army. So I'm on a very small marketing team of 2. So all encompassing for a full rebrand. We obviously work with a lot of different agencies, but I suppose one of the biggest challenges was coming up with the name, to be perfectly honest with you. We obviously had a short list that was very difficult towards the end to pin down what it was going to be. So we went out to research and that decided the name. But it's actually important to note that the name came from within the park. So in the months leading up, we worked with a couple of different agencies and nothing was just quite hitting the mark and what we wanted the park to represent. So it wasn't a winner for us. So we decided to hold an internal brainstorming session, and that was from every layer of department. And the name Emerald Park came up several times and it stuck. And we're delighted that it was an in-house name chosen. So it's very exciting, and all that the rebrand encompasses, it's massive. So everything from PR to media planning with our agency, a full nationwide campaign which is launching next week actually, and then everything from logo production to design assets. Myself, I actually am heavily involved in the design and the production of signage in the park, so that's a huge part of how the rebrand manifests, I suppose, is the in-park upgrades. So signage, you'll see quite the facelift in the park. Everything from merchandise, tickets, wristbands, maps.
Fast, isn't it,
endless. It's very fast paced, but extremely fulfilling and rewarding work. So
I bet it is, but great at such a young age to be involved in such a massive project.
It really is,
Well done, you and your co-partner, team of 2, and of course all the staff below in Emerald Park. So when is it opened? When is the big reveal?
So we're hosting a media morning and official launch on the 25th of March, and we're hoping to make a bit of noise that morning. Super. So you'll have to pop down for the opening. Charles will be cutting the ribbon. And that morning, the 2 new rides will launch. We actually have a couple of new zoo arrivals as well. So we have a new tiger this year, a new Eimear leopard, some new squirrel monkeys. So there's going to be a lot of exciting things happening that day. I don't want to give away too much, but the end is in sight. So we're ready to launch and get it out there now and get the doors back open.
And when will it be open to the public?
So on the same day, so the 25th, which is the Saturday.
So book your
March,
tickets
yeah.
now.
Yes.
So all online
Yeah.
bookings available at this stage, I assume, Eimear.
That's it, yeah.
So a lot of people are, I suppose, must ask you when they hear you work in a theme park. There aren't too many in Ireland, let's be honest. I think
Yeah.
you're the first and only. In terms of what's it like to work in a theme park?
Yeah, like in short, it's really fun. It's a very get up and go, throw in your runners, you're out the door. You could be out at the roller coaster shooting content or video and then back at the office to prepare a content calendar. It's a very fast-paced role, but we're lucky in the sense of a rebrand year in marketing. A lot of opportunities have come our way and there's no idea, safe to say, that is too far-fetched. It's a very creative job and yeah, really exciting one.
And I would say a huge amount of goodwill towards Emerald Park.
That's it, yeah.
People
Big
want
time.
you to
We
be
have-
successful and want you to
Yeah,
do
and we've
well.
a loyal fan base. Now, I think we ruffled feathers when we announced we were going to rebrand, but I'm sure we're going to win them back because I don't think people realise the exciting projects that are coming down the line, which hopefully we'll tease out this year.
I've no doubt. Change always brings about a reaction.
Yes.
But it's your job, I suppose, in marketing to make it a positive reaction. And I've no doubt you will. I know the guys in Emerald Park really well. And I know that they're a great bunch to work with and to work for. And for anybody going to visit, I'm sure they'll have an amazing trip this summer. So in terms of sustainability then, a big piece for you guys in Emerald Park this year going forward, and particularly with the rebrand. What role are you playing there to reach your own targets within the sustainability agenda?
Yeah, so it's a really big part of what we do. I think we're proud to say we use 100% renewable green energy. We're also supporting zero to landfill waste policy. And then other small wins that I suppose we've done over the last year is we've stopped printing our maps, which before we were printing nearly 500,000 printed handout maps. Now we've gone digital with QR codes. We've moved from bottles to cans.
Great.
Everything recyclable from napkins, straws, keep cups, you name it. That's all
a big job
recycling.
in a theme park,
It
isn't
is,
it?
but again, it's extremely important. Like, just to mention, like for the zoo, they have a very special social responsibility because a lot of the animals we care for, they're extremely endangered and come from unsustainable practices. So from a zoo perspective, we have to be seen as a park from a 360 perspective to be on board with a sustainability mission. So
important and so well articulated, Eimear. It's great to see that. So the official reopening is the 25th of March. Get your tickets online now. And have you 2 tickets to give away to some of our listeners?
I do, absolutely, yes.
So we'll certainly get that out across social, and thank you very much. And we'll make sure that they go to a worthy family for
delighted to hear it.
2 family tickets. And thanks so much for that, Eimear. So for these worthy winners, Eimear, let's talk about what they can expect, because I know there's a couple of new extra rides. Give us a sneak peek there.
Yeah, so I suppose in 2024, we're in the middle of constructing 2 new steel roller coasters. We're kind of calling them at the moment our Disneyland spec scale. So it's a fully immersive 6.5 acre land that we're in the middle of building, and hopefully we can tease that out this year. But I suppose for the season coming at the end of the month, like I mentioned earlier, the 2 new rides are coming in the junior zone and our zoo arrivals. And then just if you're interested to see kind of the makeover as such that's happened with the rebrand, it's definitely worth a visit.
So if I'm going down there with my nephews, what is the first ride that they'll want to do for under 10s and over 10s?
Oh, that's a tough question. I think under 10, definitely the 2 new rides, so Balloon Chase and Crazy Bus.
Brilliant.
Over 10, you have to hit up the Cuchulainn. 100%. Yeah.
And is there a height limit on that?
There is, but just be sure to check out the website before you visit.
Absolutely. And that is?
emeraldpark.ie.
Perfect. So, Eimear, one of the big things I suppose we love about Emerald Park, you are our only theme park licensed Guaranteed Irish in the whole island of Ireland. What does that mean to you, and how can you connect to other businesses and families out there using that brand?
Yeah, so I think there's a great alignment between the 2 organisations. I mean, power of provenance is no greater than it is in the Emerald Isle, and that's what we're striving to, I suppose, emulate by having the name Emerald Park. For families, I suppose, we want that badge to be proud of, to say we are 100% Irish business, we're family owned. I think when we announced we were going to rebrand, the biggest question, one of them was, oh, they must have got bought out or they've new owners.
Of course,
just
typical.
to rest assured that it's still a family-run business, 100%. And I think we continue to reinvest back into the business. So,
and of course, you've always been strong on investing in the community.
Yeah, that's it. So the value we can add to the community in terms of employment of upwards of 400 across the year. So I think the value is like having that guaranteed Irish seal of approval as such, for lack of a better word, is crucial.
That's the perfect
it couldn't have come at a better time as well. So especially when there's a lot of change this year. So
Eimear, just to recap, in terms of employees, how many have you year round?
So permanent office staff, we have about 30. Then we have a zookeeping team of I think it's about 20 at the moment. And then seasonally, it's upwards of 400.
Again,
it's massive for the community. And we're proud to provide as much employment as possible.
And your seasons, Eimear, they're starting this year from the 25th of March and they run until when?
Right up until December 23rd. Now just check out opening times and days of the week. But so typically most theme parks internationally, they close for off-peak, which is for us January to March, just the nature of the beast. Sure. We're in Ireland, it's cold, it's wet. Nobody wants to come to an outdoor theme park. So it all kicks off from the end of this month.
Brilliant. So emeraldpark.ie for all information and get your bookings in there now. Thanks so much for joining us, Eimear, today. And Eimear and I wish Emerald Park every success for the year ahead. I know it'll be a success. If you want to buy tickets to visit Emerald Park, check out their website, emeraldpark.ie, and we will leave a link to their website in the show notes. Thank you as always for listening, and don't forget to hit subscribe wherever you're listening and leave us a review if you like the episode.
The Guaranteed Irish Business Podcast, sponsored by FBD Insurance, Ireland's largest homegrown insurer. Support. It's what we do.